You are listening to Jerry-Royce-Live Worldwide Podcast. Listening to Jerry-Royce-Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, this is Tiffany Boyle, CEO and Editor-in-Chief of Emerge Magazine, the new voice of business. Here inviting you to come out to celebrate with us at the Emerge premiere, May 29th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the City Club of Washington, D.C., located at 555 13th Street Northwest, Columbia Square. Again, that's May 29th in Washington, D.C. For more information, visit www.emergepremiere.com.
Hi, this is Reverend-Virginia-Singleton, and I am the author of Inspirational Encouragement and Personal Journal, and I'm on jerry-royce-live Worldwide.
You are listening to PositivePower21.org with Jerry Royce.
What up? It's your boy Kano Kingston.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions.
Hey, this is Pat. Hi, I'm Teresa Powell.
Hi, Jerry. This is Ira Sandro Carter.
Hi, this is Phil Powers.
Hello, this is Teresa Bobby with Jerry Royce Live.
Hi, I'm Philip Barron. I'm live on the Jerry Royce Show.
Hey, what it do? It's your boy Houston Saint.
Peace, this is Dahlia, the poet, spoken word artist.
Hello, this is Mama Keith with Jerry Royce Live.
All right, everyone. You got Robin Lynn, and I'm keeping it live right now on Jerry Royce Live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? This is a award-winning podcast with the greatest podcast on earth. Thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide on Internet Radio, where you get your positive on. So when it's all positive, it's all power. That's positive power. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Think you know how drugs get in those little brown bottles? Think again. Set in the green hills of western New Jersey, inside the gilded halls of power of a U.S. pharmaceutical company where decisions are worth billions of dollars and human lives worth less. Nicholas Harding, a young executive at Marshall Pharmaceutical, finds his career, family, and life in jeopardy. The Farmhouse, a suspense thriller novel by Bill Powers, published by Donna Inc. Publications, available at Amazon.com or DonnaInc.org. Go to Bill's webpage at www.author.BillPowers.com.
Are you looking for the next great read? A book filled with love, passion, betrayal, and intrigue. The award-winning novel, Season of Change, by Tamika Patrice Kane, is sure to satisfy your literary sweet tooth. Check out this must-read book reviewers are calling uplifting and emotional. And exceptionally great read, deeply intense and thought-provoking. Order your copy today, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.com or at www.tamikapatrice.com.
Are you an author looking for promotional services or a reader looking for a great read at low prices? In this competitive world of books, Writing Royalty Promotions is dedicated to bringing authors and readers together to build a greater respect for literature through our various promotional services and online bookstore. So head over to WritingRoyaltyPromotions.com and check us out.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Positive Power 21.org. Today, I am feeling incredible, I am blessed, and I am Jerry Royce Live, and I'm worldwide. And you're listening to episode 353. And today on the show, we have a poet. Well, not exactly a poet, but we're going to say we have an author on the show. The title of her book is called Inspirational, Encouragement, and Personal Journals. And her name is Reverend-Virginia-Singleton. And we're going to bring out on the show as soon as we hear a message from our sponsor. And tonight's sponsor on the show is my man. That's right, James Deshay. Check him out.
Are you looking for a great book of poetry that is romantic, heartfelt, and full of male emotion? Then get Thoughts, Love, and Reflections by James K. Deshay. That's D-E-S-H-A-Y. Go to www.jamesdeshay.com. You will enjoy Thoughts, Love, and Reflections.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions, and when I'm in town, I listen to Jerry Royce Live, PositivePower21.org, where they play my favorite music.
All right. Thank you, Angel, for bringing us in. That's right. Tonight on episode 353, we got Virginia Singleton. That's right. She's one of the authors of Kingdom Builders Publications, LLC. And again, we want to thank everybody for joining us on PositivePower21.org, Power 21 Radio Network. And later on in the show, we're going to talk about some of the fantastic things we have going on in the show. But, of course, we want everybody to keep our city, Baltimore, in prayer. We will be having some court proceedings going on Friday, so we don't know what's going to happen. We hope it's the best. We hope justice will be served for the young man that was killed on our streets. So let's move on to the show. But just, again, keep us in prayer, everybody. All right. Tonight, again, we got Virginia Singleton, Reverend Virginia Singleton. She's a woman of prayer, faith, and a woman of the cloth. She is captivating and exhilarating preacher who has founded and pastored the flourishing and dedicated membership of Divine Church of Deliverance in Florence, South Carolina. Reverend Virginia Singleton is a family woman, wife, mother, and grandmother, and influential in her passion and her region. Her literary accomplishments are a published poet, author, writer of short stories, and aspiring songwriter and psalmist. She's an inspirational counselor and facilitator for substance abuse counseling. She is certified in addiction counseling, Lamar's coach, and welder. She holds memberships with Who's Who in Business, listed with Cambridge University, South Carolina Association of Alcohol and Drug Abuse Counselors, and the National Association of Alcohol and Drug Abuse Counselors. In her first book, Encouraging Thoughts, Scriptures, and Prayers, begin the journey to an exciting future and getting to know God in a personal way. That's right. Inspirational, Encouragement, and Personal Journal is the companion to Encouraging Thoughts, Scriptures, and Prayers. It's collections of scriptures that will be insightful for those who want to know God in a personal way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the show, Reverend Virginia Singleton. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing just fine, Jerry. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, so happy to have you on the show. I'm feeling great. I'm just a little worried about tomorrow, but we just put in God's hands. And the only reason why I'm worried this time, Reverend, is because my workplace happened to be right next door to that courthouse, and I'm trying to decide, should I park 4 or 5 blocks away and deal with mayhem, or should I just take the day off? That's what I'm dealing with right now.
All we can do is always trust that God is our protector.
That's right, because brother trying to save his vacation days because he want to take a vacation this summer.
Amen. Amen.
That's right, because, man, we dealing with allergy season, everything. You know, when you get up with allergies, it's like having a bad cold, a bad cold.
It is. I know I have allergies myself, and allergies are no joke.
It's not. You try to deal with, but you hate going to work. Everybody sneezing, everybody, got the postnasal drip going. You just feel so bad, you just don't feel like it sometimes. So, you find yourself eating up your time, when you don't really want to. It's not like you're really sick, but the body does feel that way. All right. And I appreciate you listening to that. So I got that out my system. All right. Well, amen. So the first question for tonight is, who is Reverend Virginia Singleton?
Wow, that's a big, tall question, Jerry. I am a wife. I am a mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. I'm a poet. I am a retired clinical counselor, and presently I am the 14-year pastor of the Divine Church of Deliverance. And I tell you, my plate just gets so full sometimes till I wonder which way to go or where to begin. But it's just so much work that needs to be done, but somehow God give me the grace, what I need to get it all done.
That's right. Yeah, I heard that's a tall position to hold in the church. I mean, I've been members of several churches in my young adult life, and I know the pastor be dealing with some stuff, and that's like not only you the man delivering the word, and it's like you have to deliver an inspirational speech every Sunday, and people understand it. But you also a person dealing with life issues yourself and challenges, and at the same time you got to deal with the congregation stuff, and I know that can be something.
Amen. And that's why, in this position, we have, as pastors, we have to be careful and tread waters, and knowing that, we must trust God in all things, and we can never go forth in our own, because we, as pastors, we don't really know what the people need. We need that divine guidance from God, because you don't know who's hurting in your congregation. You don't really know the need of the people, so we must seek that guidance from God, to challenge ourselves to make sure that the people are being fed and getting their needs met.
That's right. And I know it's 3 positions that I said I would never want to hold. That's the President of the United States. Wouldn't want that job. And the commissioner of our agency that I work for. And I wouldn't want to be a pastor of a church. That's just too much responsibility, because Everybody knows what's going on when you're transparent. And that's the big talk right now, is being transparent. Is that something that's going on in your church? You want to be honest and open to the people financially and spiritually with the church. Now, I think that's the new talk right now. Is that something you're going through right now?
Absolutely, it is, and it's almost necessary, because people, they're sitting in congregations and they're looking at whomever is in the pulpit, providing them guidance, and they need to know that that's not a perfect, flawless person, that's standing there as their leader. That's a human, just as they are, so never, when I approach the pulpit, do I stand, as that perfect person, and I'm up here and you are down here, so I'm very transparent, with my congregation, because I need to let them know, hey, I feel what you feel. I understand, where you've been, where you're going, where you're trying to get to, been there, done that, and I'm not above where you are, so they need to know that they teaching, that they listen at someone who have gone through some things that can understand what their need is.
Yeah, and I know, dealing with those podcast preachers, you got the real powerful ones on TV, you competing with them, and it's almost like you competing with life itself, the pastor, because even though you're standing there and they can reach out and touch you, it's like almost like the pastor has to have a public relation team, there in the church, making sure he's not crossing those lines. He's giving everyone, because everybody wants the attention of the pastor. And if you don't, you give this one more than the other, and you better have a first lady or a first guy in the church too. Because if you single, you're really in trouble. I don't know how they do it.
I tell you, you are so on it. You are so on it, Jerry. I tell you, and my husband, being the first, we call him the first man, there at Divine. And, many instances, whereas me being a female, when there's a male that's in need of something, I very well understand that to a certain point, I may be able to assist them. But then sometimes they may need what only a man can provide, and what they are comfortable with. And I don't have a problem. I'm not intimidated, by using my husband or, or some of the other men that's in the church family. who I know is qualified and able, to stand in the gap, and do that which that I don't need to be the go-to at that time, so that because men, not knocking men, but, for some reason sometimes they're not as comfortable, expressing themselves, as we as women, and I understand that. So we made provisions, we make provisions for that so they can have a ministry where they can kind of like let their hair down, and get their needs met as well.
All right, it's good that your husband's right there with you, because I've been to some churches. It's like, okay, where the first lady at? Where the first man at? They only show up. And you sitting there thinking, wait a minute, I'm missing the first quarter of the NFL, and the first man not even standing up there. Where is he?
Wow, hello.
I mean, it's like you're dealing with so much. Now you're dealing with the NFL during the winter months, because you want the guys there because, you got young people, you want them to see some male presence. And then you have a lot of males that were raised by females. So, it's like you like mommy, you're that teacher. Man, you wear a lot of hats. Praise God.
Amen. But thereby, and I recognize that, so sometimes, being that female pastor, I have to be willing to remove myself from the situation, when it is necessary, and fill that gap with the males of the church, so that the males will not lack anything that they need within that congregation.
That's right. Now, do you have a public relations department or individual that's kind of like almost like, Pastor, we may not be. They look over your sermon for the day, and they look at, because I know a lot of pastors kind of use today's news to keep the congregation engaged, because they know what's going on because of the smartphones and technology. What's your style like? You just straight from the book, or?
Amen. Basically straight from the book, but at the same time, when I'm from the pulpit, I do address issues that is going on in the world, because it's of necessity that, we're not excluded or we're not in exclusion because we are within the church setting. We need to know what's going on outside of those walls. So as pastors, we need to be able to not politic in the pulpit, but we need to keep our people abreast of what's going on in the world that may happen in their neighborhood, in their environment, and may be even happening in their individual homes. They don't know how to deal with it, and I don't want them to feel closed in, like I'm sitting in this congregation and I can't let anybody know that I'm feeling this, I'm thinking this, so certain topics are addressed from the pulpit, so they'll know I'm open. Whatever your need is, we can come to the table and we can talk about it. And even though I don't have a per se PR person, I do have a pastoral care team, and what we do, we come together, we sit down, and we talk about sermons and what we're talking about in the church and what we're going to bring forward, what we think going to bring the enlightenment, and as they hear what the people they bring, what the people's concerns are, and then we try to make sure we build sermons around that to try to reach them from the pulpit, but at the same time let them know, if you need more than that, you can always see me individual. I am always available to you.
Amen. All right. Now, again, we was talking a little bit about technology, social media. Do you find it being a little bit more challenging now that you're dealing with three generations right now? You're dealing with the retirees. I forgot what they call them. The boomers. Is that right?
The baby boomers.
The baby boomers, yeah. The baby boomers, they're 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 in the gym right now. They're eating healthy. You can't tell them from the 4-year-olds now. And then you have, of course, you got your 4-year-olds. They're parents, but they still go to the clubs and they still think they hip. They got to have the latest and everything. And then you're dealing with the teens coming up through college that they're a little brighter now. They're ready to purchase their homes. They're ready to, they're not just about buying cars. They're about investing, starting their own business. They're not like, used to be. They're like, whoa, they doing better than their parents, and they just got out here. Now, do you find that challenging now that you're dealing with at least about 3 to 4 generations now? Yeah.
Amen. It gets challenging at times. However, to kind of arrest that challenge, we have different ministries. It's ironic that you looked at the different levels and stages where people are in their life. But, we have a ministry that addresses our seniors, those that are retired. We have one that those baby boomers. We have a women's ministry, and we also have for that baby boomers with the men. We have a men's ministry. We have a ministry for our youth, a ministry for our teens. So we have erected ministries within the body that can address all these different levels, whereas what they're not getting from the pulpit, when they come into a more intimate setting in these individual ministries, then that's where they can get more, get their questions answered, get feedback to questions that they can't get to the pastor. But if they can't get it answered there, then, of course, these team leaders, they will gather that information, bring it back to me, get some feedback, and then take it back into that setting. So at all times, we'll think about all those different levels, but at the same time recognizing that they're not going to get it all from the pulpit. So thereby we have these different intimate ministries that they can probably get more information, on an individual basis. Because I can't stop in the middle of a sermon and answer a question. So thereby we have to set up other avenues that the questions can be answered.
That's right. Now I'm going to tell you something I noticed, because I'm very observant. I watch everything. I've been this way for so long. Now, I know since President Obama became president, people put a little bit more weight on their leadership now. It's like the introverts are having a hard time. It's like nowadays people are saying, I know you are the leader, but you need to come down, you need to hug me, you need to shake my hand, you need to sit there and break bread with me or something, or I'm not going to vote for you, or I'm not going to support you, whatever your platform is. Because President Obama is a very engaging president, a very engaging leader. Yes. And I noticed what happened to this church I was going to, because this pastor, he likes to sneak in through the back, do his thing, and then he disappear after he does communion or whatever, and he's not at the at the door to say goodbye to you and have a nice week. Everybody like, what the heck? He doesn't do that. But I remember I had a pastor that was like that. He would, do his thing, speak, he wasn't one of them long-winded preachers neither. And then he would walk down, do his little benediction. Well, I forgot what he called that thing. Man, it's been a while since I was in Methodist church. He would come down, little ceremony, and then he would stop at the back door, and then when the church, service was over, he shakes everybody's hand, hug every woman, and smile at every kid, like he was running for office. And the church was packed, because I remember what it was like before he got there. It was you can count the people in the pews, but then he had to have a second service. And I'm noticing now that people are putting a little bit more pressure. And even in the workplace, they're telling leadership, and I've seen this happen in the workplace where I'm at, where we have the managers like to stay in the cubicles. They don't come out and say good morning. And this is one of the biggest complaints in town hall meetings now is my boss don't say good morning to us in the morning. We don't even know they're there or not. But the ones walking around, they may never been one of the better workers in the workplace, but they know how to treat people, and the people like them, and they work hard for them. Have you found that to be a problem? Have you seen a difference?
Well, let me say at Divine, I make it a point to be very engaging with the congregation, because I think that is so necessary. Because first of all, you don't want to give out the image that I'm better because of where I stand. Because people need to understand that though that's my leader, I need a leader who is not desensitized to me being a human so much that we can remove ourselves to what issues and concerns that people may be experiencing. Thereby, I make it a point to be very engaging with my congregation. I enjoy the hug. I enjoy the shaking of the hands. I enjoy the picking up the little people and holding them and feeling those little arms wrapped around my neck. I enjoy standing at the door as they go out, as they depart, shaking their hands and telling them, God be with you until we meet the next time. And I think that is so important, because pastors have such a busy schedule. They have so much on their plate. And I feel that when the opportunity presents itself, that you can show the people that you have my undivided attention And being in church is one of the main places, one of the main times that the opportunity is presented, that we can show them, you may not be able to grab me all week, but you got my attention this morning. What do you need from me?
Amen.
So we need to show them that love. We need to show that.
I love that.
Jesus was very engaging.
Yes.
Yeah, Jesus didn't
right.
exclude himself. He was very engaging. And I love that style, and I've adopted that style, and I'm going to have that style until the day I die. Whether it's in the church or on the outside, it's important to engage with your leaders.
That's right. I love that. Wow, you awesome. You are awesome.
Hallelujah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right, because Jesus was rubbing people's feet.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't even think you can. I don't think you get anybody boss. Well, you do have some bosses out there that are more like servant leaders. That they want to make their job really is to give you what you need, the tools you need. Whether it's just high in the morning, or can I sharpen your pencil, or is your computer system working right?
Come on now.
That's their job. Their job is to manage. Right, their job is to manage the department or the agency or whatever. But to make sure you're a happy camper at the same time,
Absolutely.
And it's funny because when you go to some of your higher up organizations, a lot of the leadership is like that. But somewhere down in the middle, when it gets down to right before the first line, it disappears. You don't know what happens. Like, who are these people running my place? They don't look like me. They don't have my style of leadership. So I don't get it. But you are awesome. But we're going to take a break, Reverend Singleton, and we come back. We're going to talk about encouraging thoughts, scriptures, and prayers. That's right. Oh, my bad. Inspirational encouragement and personal journal. We're going to talk about that when we get back. Your relationship with Kingdom Builders Publications, all that good stuff. So everybody hold tight. We talking to Reverend-Virginia-Singleton. Awesome preacher. Awesome. All right. Here we go with Reese World Publishing.
Are you an avid reader of urban fiction, looking for drama, suspense, and more? Reese World Publishing is dedicated to bringing the world's best literature to our readers. Urban fiction, erotica, sci-fi, mainstream fiction, and children's literature are just some of the genres produced by our diversified family of authors. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, www.reeseworldpublishing.com.
Today is brought to you by Angel Session. Jesus is Coming Soon. It's a big-time hit on Amazon. I think the whole album is a hit. Angel can market her butt off, too. She's all over social media. And then the song we heard earlier to open the show up, I Want to Be Yours. It's Kimberly. She's out there, too. Inspirational singer doing her thing up. And we appreciate both those artists. They were both on positivepower21.org, so you can check out their shows. If you go out to the website, positivepower21.org, you will see them listed on our billboard. You want to get on the billboard, just inbox us, and we tell you how much it costs. All right? Everybody see you. Everybody wants you. All right, we're talking to Reverend Virginia Singleton. Her book That's right. Inspirational Encouragement and Personal Journal is a companion to encouraging thoughts, scriptures, and prayers. It's a collection of scriptures that will be insightful for those who already know God in a personal way, as well as anyone seeking his love and forgiveness while developing a personal relationship with him. And in the way this world is today, boy, you need love. Not from a man, not from a woman. You got to get it from God so he can teach you how to love yourself first, and then that'll open you up to someone else's love. And I'm talking about good love, too, not bad love. All right. Reverend Virginia Singleton, tell us about this book. Tell us about it.
Amen. As you said, Jerry, I thank God for this project. And it is the junior to my first book, Encouraging Thoughts, Scriptures, and Prayers. With that first one, I wrote that, in dedication to my sister, my baby sister, as a matter of fact, who passed away with breast cancer. She and I, we used to have many conversations, and we talked about many different topics that was encouraging and inspiring, in trying to keep her encouraged. And, and when we would sit down and talk, she would always say, sis, you need to write that down, because it's so encouraging to me, and that's been part of what's helping me to not to complain, but to be a trooper through this and to keep my faith and to hold on to God, and not give up. And she really inspired me to pen it on paper. And so that's how the first book came about. But then God started dealing with me about kind of furthering, that book itself. And that book itself became the foundation for inspiration, encouragement, and personal journal. And that's exactly what it is. It's a journal where a person can, on a personal level, they can kind of monitor themselves, where their personal spiritual growth is, what they want from God, where they are in God, what they want more for themselves. Where am I growing? Where do I need to grow? Where are my strengths? Where are my weaknesses? And it's not a preachy book. It is very simple. I try to keep it on the style like Jesus did. Jesus was very powerful in his teaching, but at the same time, he was very simplistic. So it wasn't anything hard, to follow his teachings. And that's how this book is written. It's a powerful book. It can be very enriching in enhancing someone's life, but at the same time, it's in a very simplistic way. It's not written for gender. It's a book for anybody, and just kind of monitor where they are personally. So often people judge us and try to tell us who we are, and sometimes we give in so much and believe what people tell us about us that we forget ourselves who we really are, but this little personal journal would help us individual kind of monitor their own personal journey in getting to know God, building a bigger relationship with God, getting a closer walk with him, and to gain a little bit better understanding about certain topics such as faith, love, joy, their need to change, prayer, their prayer life, their security in God, wisdom in God. It just talks about several different topics, which could be building blocks in their spiritual maturity.
That's right. Now, when you use the word encouragement in your book, I mean, is this something that's the word? Is it going to help build that person up? Like, a lot of people hit rock bottom sometime before they decide to, get a chance to seek God and Jesus. They rock bottom now. It's like nowhere else to go. Let me try Jesus. That's what they say. Is that one of those kind of books they can pick up and at least get on the right path? It's like a blueprint to what they need to do.
Amen. And as I said, Jerry, it's a book. If you're at the very bottom, it's a book. If you pick it up and read it, it'll show you how to get up from where you are. Pull your bootstraps up. Recognize that God is not concerned that you fail. He loves you so much that he wants you to get up. And that's what this book is all about, to show somebody. It doesn't matter where you've been, where you came from, or where your path is right now. But God said that you're somebody. And we need to stop listening at the negative and stop trying to meet people's expectations and believing what people say about us. But we need to get in the word of God and find out what did God say about who I am. And that's what this book is all about, teaching somebody about what the Lord say about you, not what people say about you.
That's right. Now, you have a lot of experience dealing with people who have hit rock bottom. I know you heard some stories, you've seen their faces, and you can look at their eyes and you know where they come from. Tell us a little bit about now. This has to weigh on you sometime also, dealing with those kind of people every day, day in and day out. How did you keep yourself encouraged? And then going through what your sister was going through at the time. Tell us about that.
Hallelujah. Jerry, as I said, I see myself no different than anyone else, whether they're standing in the pulpit or whether they're sitting in the congregation or whether they're out there walking on the street and have hit the lowest part in their life. The only difference is I accepted that I needed somebody greater in my life than I was, somebody who could provide guidance for me and show me a better way, that could love me when nobody else would show me any love. And when I recognized that there was a man called Jesus Christ, and when I got into that word and I began to study and learn what he was saying about me, then it helped me to stop listening at what people say. And as I've worked with people, and I mean, it's unbelievable some of the stories that I've heard coming across my desk in counseling people's lives that have been damaged so much by drugs and drug addiction, and their children also suffered as a result. And we had to help them to understand, you know what, you don't want to live in what you have done. You got a life to live that God created you to become, and what you did is not who you are. And I had to teach them to separate, as Jesus did, separate that sin from the sinner, meaning separate what they had done wrong from who they were as a person, because they were good people that just made some bad choices, and that's what I live my life to do, never looking down on anybody, because by the grace of God, there go I. And at all times I keep that in the back of my mind, never to look down on anybody, never to stand in judgment of anybody. And that's what really helped me as a clinician. As I looked across my desk at that individual sitting in front of me, I saw them not what they had done, but I saw a human being that was in need of love, that was in need of change, that was in need of knowing that there is a God that loves you and there is somebody that's greater than you, and that you're not waiting on them, they're waiting on you to make up your mind to do something different. But I myself, to take care of me so I could take care of them, I had to stay in constant prayer. I needed to read things that kept me encouraged, that kept me inspired. Thereby, I found myself reading other inspirational materials by other authors, sitting down talking to other people who I knew wouldn't stand in judgment of who I was and who could encourage me to let me know to hang in there. These people need you. You got to keep yourself in check so you can help these people. So and that's how I did. I stayed on my knees. I stayed in my prayer closet. I stayed before God, asking God for guidance. Show me how to lead these people, and that's the same thing that I do in respect to leading people in the church. I have to stay before God, because if I don't keep me straight, what can I do for anybody else? I have to remember, God said that I am the salt of the earth. I am the light of the world. And if my salt loses its savor, then I'm good for nothing but to be thrown into the fire and trodden under the feet of men. So I pray every day and I ask God, give me what I need. Let me live my life, not by how I say it, but let me live it by being an example. I want people to see who I am so much so that I don't have to tell them that I'm saved. I want them to see it in the way that I live. I want them to hear it when I speak. I want them to hear it in my voice. I want them to hear God coming out of me.
That's right. Now, this is episode 353. I heard some stuff on this show, Reverend Singleton. And looking at your bio, I know you heard some stuff, you've seen some stuff. And I say, God you must be a very special person for him to give you this kind of response. Not just one responsibility dealing with people, but two. One, dealing with his church folks, and the second, dealing with his people who have hit rock bottom. Because you seeing them before they even get to the church. Most of the people in the church are already kind of straight, little cleaned up. You're just trying to keep them in the spirit. The ones that you see across your desk, whoo, man. I know. So you got to be a special individual. Because not everybody can do what you're doing right now. not anybody.
I thank you, but all I can say is I thank God, and I feel so humbled and so privileged that God chose a nobody like me, because as I said, only but by His grace, it could have been me sitting on the other side of the dead, sharing my story about hitting rock bottom. And though I had some rough places in my life, and I have not been excluded, from the cares of the world, but I just thank God that before it was too late, God surrounded me and placed people in my life that would speak into my life positivity and give me words of encouragement that inspired me to come out of the low places where I was. So thereby, I had to learn to freely give back what was so freely given to me, that others might be inspired the same way that God let others speak into my life to inspire me. And that's what I hope that this book will do, is speak into the lives of those that does not yet recognize that there is somebody that loves you, that you are of worth, that you are loved, that you are somebody. You deserve the finer things in life. You don't have to stay at the bottom where you are. You can get up if you want to get up.
That's right. If you ever had an opportunity to hear Hollow Gray, his story, Holloway Gray, he's a good friend of T.D. Jakes. That guy had a story and a half, too, about, drug addictions and the challenges of that. I mean, incredible story, incredible man. Now he's walking now telling his story. Reverend, I got to say, your husband got to be a special guy too, because you got to be there for the lady in the house when she come home from work and she has all this heavy burden, all this stuff she just took in. She got to put it somewhere. What kind of man is Mr. Singleton?
Let me tell you, he is a kind, gentle-hearted, loving man in my life. And though we went through some challenges early on in our marriage, and which played a big part in God building the understanding in me for the job to be able to sit across the desk and help other folks who had hit rock bottom, But when God turned his life around, oh my goodness, Jerry, he is just an awesome man, and I won't say dump on him, because I don't see it as dumping. I thank God that he grew him up in his spiritual maturity at the same time that he was growing me up for pastoring into the vineyard, that he has a listening ear and he follows me. He is my biggest supporter. He is my best cheerleader, and I honor him so much, in all the support that he gives me, because I find that sometimes when I speak with other females, I have other friends who are in ministry and pastoring and who are married, and they don't get the support. They feel they're more intimidated, that the husband doesn't really support them because he, they're thinking about, the woman preaching this kind of thing, but, which is not here or there, but all I can do is encourage them, pray for them, because sometimes when you don't understand the thing that you think that you are against, that's the only reason that you stand against it is because you don't understand it. So help them understand where you coming from. Help them to understand that you are not trying to usurp your authority over them, that you're not trying to boss them, you're not trying to tell them what to do, but to help them to understand that you need their encouragement. You need them to be there. Teach them how to support you. Teach them how to be there for you without intimidating them. So that's how God keep it with me and my husband. We keep it real with each other. We able to sit down, and if he's having a problem with what's going on with me, we able to talk about it. If I'm having a problem with him, we sit down and talk about it. So, and we do it together. But I thank God for this man. I thank God for him. God just kind of grew us up in ministry together, and now he works harder than anybody in the church, to make sure that whatever vision God gives me, and when I tell it to him, everything that's within his power, he does it to try to make sure that that vision is fulfilled for the body of Christ.
That's right. A witness. That's right. Awesome. Inspirational encouragement and personal journal. She is the author, and she's part of Kingdom Builders Publications. So tell us a little bit about that relationship. We got a little bit of time, the relationship with their publishing company, Louise Smith.
Oh, Jerry, I tell you, it's just so awesome. I just don't know where to begin. And how God made the connection there. As a matter of fact, Ms. Smith and I, we had a relationship before they developed Kingdom Builders Publication. In the day way back, we used to live in the same community right around the corner from each other, and she and I would stand on each other's porches. That's how close we were in proximity. I stand on my porch and she stand on hers, and believe it or not, we be yelling down the street to each other, talking about the Lord and different things. And then, then she journeyed to Columbia. I remained in Florence, and then God blessed her, and her husband tremendously, and then they got Kingdom Builders Publications, and with my first book, I did not have very good success with that, so when God poured inspiration, encouragement, and personal journal into my spirit, when it was time to move forward with that, I prayed about it. I said, God, I don't want to go back to the first publishing company because, I was mistreated, and I was very discouraged because I did not, I just didn't get what I should have gotten. But the Lord spoke to me. He said, don't go back to where you were. He said, go to Kingdom Builders. And thereby, I picked up the phone. I called my dear friend, Louise Smith, and I told her that God had given directions to come to them, and it started off from there. And I have found Kingdom Builders to be a business of excellence. I mean, they roll out the red carpet to you. You get nothing less than royal treatment, with this company. And I don't say that just because Ms. Smith and I are friends, but because it's a matter of truth. Anybody that wants to write a book or just want to learn how to become a poet or whatever in your writing skills, you want to learn how to enhance them, I will send anybody to Kingdom Builders Publications. You will not be disappointed if use Kingdom Builders Publications as your publisher. I am very satisfied.
Awesome people. I had an opportunity to meet them in person up in Greenbelt, Maryland. They came here to see one of the one of the authors that share the same website with you, and it was an awesome experience. It was they just so warm and giving. I felt like I've known them for years. We talk pretty much almost every day on the phone too. Her husband and I, because we pretty much in the same boat. Trying to understand this internet thing, trying to do big and better things. Trying to give put God's message out there for everybody. And I know what you're going through. They are awesome. They are awesome people.
Yes, they are.
So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get your closing, your final thoughts for tonight's show. Okay?
All right.
Sound good? All right. Let's hear a message from Gerald Manuel. That's right. His brand new book out there on relationships.
Hi. If you're struggling with your relationship or you just can't seem to find the right one, author Gerald Manuel has written an enlightening new book entitled How to Identify Your Spiritual Soulmate. You may order a copy today from Amazon.com or at BarnesandNoble.com. This book is sure to answer many of the questions you may have. Thank you, and God bless you.
Appreciate what you
listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, you tell them, Robert, you're listening to Worldwide. That's right, I'm Jerry Royce Live. I'm on positivepower21.org with Reverend Virginia-Singleton. And before you give us our closing statement, I just want to say you were so awesome today. I appreciate the message you gave us, sharing your God, your journey, your work, your husband, your family, all that good stuff. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Your pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your show, Jerry.
You're welcome. So you ready to close this out?
Yes, I am.
All right, all yours.
Amen. Again, I would just like to leave with you all where you can find my material. You can find it at PD Christian Bookstore in Florida, South Carolina. You can purchase it online at KingdomBuildersPublications.com, Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, Books A Million. You can also get it from downloads for Kindle, Googlebook.com, iBook, and other tablet and Android markets. And I have been informed that it is also available in Japan, in Japanese language. Amen. Or you can request it from my personal email address, which is vir2usly@msn.com. Or you can go to my personal website, virginiasingletonministries.zohosites.com.
All right. Well, hopefully we get all that from you so they can find it on the landing page on positivepower21.org. So I keep it simple, Reverend. I just tell them positivepower21.org. You know, 2 words and a number. .org. That's right. Amen. That's right. We say keep it simple. People got too much on their mind today. They're not gonna remember that one letter you told them. Maybe Virginia. But we'll help them out. They can come over to my website and find you.
Praise God. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. And then don't forget about Kingdom Builders Publishing, Publications.com. See, I forget which one it is, publishing or publication. But we'll help you guys out.
Yeah, I stated that one, KingdomBuildersPublications.com.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Mm-hmm. And the song you just heard was from Linton and Louise Smith. They're also musicians. And that CD is also available on our website and on their website, so you can check them out. All right. And don't forget about jamvibesradio.biz. That's right. If you want to listen to some beautiful jazz music, which is a collection of Mr. Linton Smith himself, come on out to Positive Power. We stream his show, and also is available on demand on our website, and also it'll link you back to his website as well. We also carry our gospel music. That's right, the Ngara people. That's right, they represent independent gospel artists from around the country, all independent. So if you're interested in becoming part of that organization, you can inbox me, and I'll show you how you can sign up so you can put your music, the music that God has embedded in you to make, for His people to hear. You can contact us. We'll make sure you get in the rotation. Of course, you gotta be good now. You just can't be just rolling out any old stuff now. All right. Make sure it's your work too, nobody else's. Now I know they probably heard us play a guy named Mark Staggers on the show. And they said, "Wow, that guy sounds like Luther Vandross." That was not Luther Vandross. That was Mark Staggers. That guy, he's something else. I had an opportunity to hear him play live, but I had a lot going on around here, so I wasn't able to make the performance. But you can check him out on his website. Also, you can Google Mark Staggers. All right, he's from the Washington, D.C. area. That's right, Positive Power. That's right, we are from around the Baltimore, Washington area. That's right, don't forget about Tiffany Boyle. She's going to be having a red carpet event. Everyone is invited. So if Reverend Singleton let you hold her G4 Learjet, you can travel over here to D.C. You're welcome to attend Tiffany Boyle's big old party on the 29th. And I think that's everything. I talked about all the new podcasters that's coming on board. They're coming over from the Midwest and the West Coast. T. Spence, that's right. She used to be a red carpet gal. That's right. She know all the stars. She's going to be joining us, talking about empowering women, and she's going to be talking about HIV intervention. So that's going to be pretty deep. And she got a cast of friends, including Kimmy Robinson, who also hosts a religious program over in the Kansas City area, and also Michelle Edmonds, who be here talking about holistic health, how to take care of your body that God has blessed you with. Right, Reverend?
Amen.
Yeah, we're going to be deep over here at Power 21. I can't wait to get them on board. It's going to be so exciting. Exciting times, you know?
Yes, God, it is. Exciting times.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people was a little fearful of this internet, but some good things starting to come out of it now. I can see it happening.
Amen. Yeah. Very useful.
It is, and it gives people like you an opportunity to reach the rest of the world. I just heard your book is going to be available in Japan. That's awesome.
Praise God. Yes, Lord. Louise told me that the other day when I spoke with her. She said it's already available. It's on the market in Japan in Japanese.
Wow. That is big.
God, this is awesome.
And that is great because I studied Japanese. I was studying martial arts, had a chance to study the language, and that's an awesome culture. Yeah, it's a very awesome culture. So I'm sure they will embrace your project. All right, Reverend, about to get out of here, and I appreciate you and your publisher. And say hello to all those people and everyone that's sitting out here listening to us in our virtual studio. We appreciate you guys hanging tight with us. I really enjoy having Reverend Virginia Singleton here today, and I hope you so. Well, I know God's going to bless you and make sure your book's in the right hands, because that's what He does. That's what He does, right?
Amen. That's what He does.
That's right. All right, y'all. I tell you all the time, y'all want to hear the good stuff. That's right. You got to share this stuff too, y'all. You just can't keep it to yourself. But I see the numbers growing. I appreciate everybody signing up for our mobile apps. That was big. Must have been all of Louise's friends that signed up. She must got a lot of friends signed up for my mobile apps. And also Logan Power, the Power Show. I can't forget about my man. I'm trying to get him the podcast now. He's doing his shows on YouTube, but he's in 30 cities, broadcasting on cable, on MeTV. So I didn't want to forget about Logan. He's playing a big part of all of our success right now. This has been a great, awesome week, and I appreciate that brother as also, and him and Linton Smith too. Them guys came together last week. We had a good chat, so we're going to be doing some powerful things here on Power 21 Radio Network. All right, everybody, y'all have a great week. Like I say, I'm Jerry Royce Live. I'm worldwide. Thank you for tuning in to Jerry Royce Live on PositivePower21.org and Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. This is a Royce Enterprises production. And don't forget about replay on Facebook.com/Jerry Royce Live. All right, that's a wrap.